over the country tonight, in fact, all over the world. I appreciate everybody being here. We're going to talk crypto. So tonight, here's what you can expect. So we're going to talk all about the history of cryptocurrency, where it first started. We're going to talk a little bit about where crypto is going. We're going to get into some different strategies and ways that people are currently making money in the crypto markets. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can start educating yourself and even take advantage of some of the resources that are available to you here tonight. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right in this evening. Always start with a disclaimer. We want to protect the house. And this is important because one thing that I cannot stand is hype or get rich quick type of opportunities that are out there. Business is business. It requires hard work, smart work, dedication, and commitment if you're you expect to be successful in any business. And of course, anytime that you're getting involved in any markets, whether it's the financial markets, Forex, whether it's cryptocurrency, there's always going to be risk there. There's no guarantees whatsoever. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. So again, we want to just put this out there. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything that I'm going to share with you tonight is my personal opinion. So get that out of the way and let's jump right in. Let's chat a little bit about who we are, give you a little bit of a snapshot of the company. First of all, Kuvera. So we are a 4-year-old company. The company has operated under the name Wealth Generators for the last 4 years. We're in the process of rebranding that company right now. So what does that mean? So about 4 years ago, some partners and I came together and we were fortunate enough to work on a rebranding project for a very well-known company called Monavie. Monavie was a juice company and they were one of the fastest companies to $1 billion. And then after the juice blend cycle started to kind of wear out a little bit, they started coming back down again. And so they were really in need of a new image, a new culture, a new community, new story, if you will. And so we actually took the foundation of that company, which was a great foundation. They were doing business in like 40, 50 countries around the world. They had a phenomenal infrastructure. The corporate staff, the corporate team was amazing. And we essentially rebranded that company and launched an entirely new company. And so from there, we introduced new products, we introduced a new brand, we introduced new field leadership, new culture, and it just took off. And so we're doing the exact same thing right now with Wealth Generators. They're a fantastic company out of Salt Lake City. They've got amazing owners. They've been the owners have been in the financial literacy and the financial education space for the last 20 years. They've focused on educating people about products like Forex and tax services and those type of things. But we are in the process right now of completely rebranding Wealth Generators. And over the course of the next week, you're going to start seeing some of the new marketing materials come out, some of our new marketing videos. And over the next few weeks, you're going to start to see the entire ship changing. And so I'm excited about that. And in my experience in the past, what was so cool is that we had an opportunity. We really had the best of both worlds. We had the infrastructure of a company that had been around for quite some time. They were a legacy company, if you will, yet we had the excitement of something brand new that was just launching. And that's exactly what's happening here right now. They're a publicly traded company, which is awesome. When you're publicly traded, it's all about transparency, right? All of the first of all, you have to register with the SEC, which is a very important part of what we're doing here to provide a safe and legal and ethical environment in the crypto mining / crypto MLM space. We'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. We're providing crypto education. I've had conversations, quite a few over the last few weeks now, and crypto keeps coming up. And one thing that has become abundantly clear to me is that people are curious about cryptocurrency, but they don't understand it. And usually, I was at a little dinner party on Saturday night and it came up over conversation. And, when I asked her, people asked me what I do for a living. And I said, well, I talk about and teach on cryptocurrency and educate people about some different financial resources that are available. And everybody says the same thing. They always say, oh, you mean Bitcoin, right? And that's about the extent of what most people have heard when it comes to cryptocurrency, but they're curious. And so what we're doing is we're filling that gap, helping people that want to start learning more about this space get the information that they need. We also provide state-of-the-art mining equipment, which is really neat because we've been able to create a relationship with one of the largest mining companies in the world. And what's cool is we facilitate the leases, but the mining company is actually the ones that fulfill the lease. And so they're the ones that actually deposit money directly into your account every day. We never even touch your money, which is a huge, huge differentiator between us and any of our competitors in the marketplace because we don't want to touch your money. That money comes directly to you into your coin wallet every single day. Right now in the cryptocurrency MLM space, it's kind of like the wild, wild west. Crypto's so hot and there's such a strong FOMO out there, fear of missing out, that, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of companies that have come in that, are operating in the gray area at best. And a lot of these companies, there are a few of them that were just shut down recently here in the US. And I had friends that lost a lot of money with those companies. And so it's very important that, again, you understand that, I always say that entrepreneurs get paid to solve problems. The bigger the problem that you solve, the more money that you make. And right now, I believe that cryptocurrency, especially in network marketing, everyone is looking for that white hat or that lighthouse to come in and do it the right way. And that's exactly where Kuvera, the foundation of where Kuvera is coming from. So we provide state-of-the-art mining equipment. We'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. We do provide proof of mining. Go figure. There's a lot of companies that are out there that will tell you that they're mining, but there is no evidence whatsoever that there's mining that's going on. And so we'll get into that a little bit more tonight as well. There's no guarantees on this side. We don't offer 1% cash, guarantees and all these things. In fact, if you see a company doing that, turn and run, because it's illegal. We're not pulling funds. And of course, the daily deposits go directly into your coin wallet. We never touch your money. So a little bit about just a snapshot. So let's get into cryptocurrency. What are people saying about crypto? First of all, if you just start looking at the thought leaders of today's generation, people like, I consider someone like Richard Branson to be a thought leader. Richard Branson just hosted 20 of the top minds, brilliant minds in the cryptocurrency space on his private island to talk about the future of digital currency. You have people like Elon Musk that are championing this cause. You have people like Howard Schultz, founder of Starbucks, that, he's even talking about how digital currency is the future and how they're even considering or going to be testing new stores that are introduced that only accept cryptocurrency. So, and of course, Bill Gates, the future of money is digital currency. So let's go back to where it all started. So Bitcoin was born in 2008. As I said earlier, most people have at least heard or know someone that had Bitcoin. You probably have heard, or maybe you haven't, the story of the pizza guy, the guy that ordered the pizza, right? Anybody know that story? There was a guy that when Bitcoin first came out, and I don't know the exact numbers, you can Google this, but he ordered a pizza with his Bitcoin, the money that he had in his Bitcoin wallet. And had he just left that money in and not touched it, I don't know the amount, but I know that it was millions of dollars is what that would have been worth. So hopefully it was a good pizza, right? Because he spent that money rather than holding on to it. So Bitcoin was born back in 2008, and it was the first decentralized currency. So what do we mean when I say decentralized? It means that no one controls it. I want you to think about who controls the US dollar. Behind that US dollar, we have the Federal Reserve. And if you go do research on the Federal Reserve, it's kind of interesting because really behind the Federal Reserve, you have, I think it's about 8 families that essentially run the Federal Reserve. And in some cases, some would even say own the Federal Reserve, which is really interesting. But what I do know is this: we trust the banks and central authorities with our money. They have complete control over it as to what amount needs to be printed, what amount needs to be circulated. And in most cases, there's nothing transparent or federal about these secretive or these central authorities. So cryptocurrency is the idea that we can take back power and control of our own money, and we can transact in a much better way. It provides us with a currency and a payment network that we can control ourselves. And we don't have to rely on any single entity to create or to help us transact. You've probably heard of the blockchain. When I first heard of the blockchain, I thought, sounds like something that should go on my kid's bike. But the blockchain is an open ledger that records all of the transactions that take place. And what's neat about it is that it's all about transparency. Cryptocurrency, in my opinion, is here to stay. It's faster, it's cleaner, it's more accessible, it's harder to counterfeit, it's cheaper, it's free of government oversight, at least for right now, and it gives you the ultimate control over your money. And when you consider the people that are now recognizing cryptocurrency as a valid form of currency, these are some of the biggest companies in the world today. Somebody said to me the other day, well, what backs cryptocurrency? That's my problem with it. What really backs it? And I said, well, that's a great question. What backs the US dollar? And kind of thought about it for a moment. because the gold standard was removed back in the 70s. So if you really think about what backs the US dollar, it comes down to us, we the people. At the end of the day, Sean, if you're willing to accept my money for something, for payment of goods or services that you're providing, that's what validates the US dollar. As long as we all agree that that piece of paper is worth something, that is in fact what validates it. So let's talk about that for a little bit. So cryptocurrency. Well, you've got companies like Microsoft that say it's a valid form of currency. Tesla, you can go buy a Tesla with cryptocurrency today. You can go buy things on eBay. I was on Craigslist today, and I posted an ad, and one of the first questions that it asked me is cryptocurrency a valid form of payment? PayPal is now, they just filed for a patent today. I know, Sean, you shared an article on this today where they filed for a patent, and I haven't had a chance to read the article yet, that has to do with the cryptocurrency process within their parameters of how their business operates. And so, you look at that and you say, okay, if all of these companies are saying that this is a valid form of payment, and yet 99% of the world out there doesn't even understand it, to me, that creates the opportunity. 96 countries are now actively involved in cryptocurrency around the world. Just to give you perspective, and this fluctuates every day depending on what the value is within the cryptocurrency space, but we've seen the market cap actually go as high as over $800 billion. Now, people say to me all the time, in fact, because I'm in crypto, I have people that call me all the time, and they'll say, every time the market drops, well, what do you think about crypto now? And I just kind of laugh and I say, well, it's on sale, go buy it. Because here's the thing, markets are always going to correct themselves. I'll take you back to January of 2016. The stock market in 1 month lost $1 trillion, fell completely out of the stock market. Why? Because we were concerned about China's economy and because of gas prices. But what happened after that? It started to climb back up again. And the people that chose to get involved at that time made a lot of money. So markets are always going to be fluctuating. And it's no different here with cryptocurrency. You're seeing a little bit more fluctuation because it's a newer currency, but that's also what creates some of the exciting opportunities that people are flocking to this industry because of as well. To put it into perspective, there's a 1.5 trillion US dollars currently in circulation today. We're talking about approximately 800 billion cryptocurrency already in the marketplace today, already in circulation. So think about that. After just a few years, some even predict that within the next 1 to 2 years, there will be more cryptocurrency in circulation than all of the US dollars currently in circulation. And then you just have to look at the way that the world is going today. I mean, we are a one world economy. We're a seamless economy today. The internet has made the economy so much smaller, and even you start to see that there's kind of there's more control at the nationwide level these days than there ever has been before. We're more connected than ever before, and so a one world currency, whether you like it or not, is the direction that the world is going in today. You look at Coinbase. Coinbase is the world's most popular place to buy and sell Bitcoin. They have over 12 million users. They're adding 50 to 100,000 people per day. Just to put that into perspective, that's more than a Charles Schwab brokerage, all of their current clients around the world. That's huge. And of course, you have companies like Goldman Sachs that are even admitting that Bitcoin is real money. So let me ask you all a question. How many of you guys recognize these two guys right here? Now, I know that those of you that have been on our presentations before recognize that these two guys, they've had a big impact in the cryptocurrency space. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint. So this movie is called The Social Network. It tells the story of the idea or the concept of Facebook first coming about. And it came from the Winklevoss brothers, the Winklevoss twins. And they hired Mark Zuckerberg to start building it. And Mark Zuckerberg kind of took that idea and he ran with it. And so, of course, the Winklevoss brothers ended up making hundreds of millions of dollars with a settlement from Facebook. But the question is, what did they do with their money? These guys are brilliant minds, graduated from Harvard, and they elected to put their money in faith in a mathematical framework that's free of politics and human error. They put it into the cryptocurrency markets. They have now introduced their own coin, and their coin has actually made it as far as to the NASDAQ. So cryptocurrency is actually trading on the NASDAQ. So what are some different ways that people are making money in cryptocurrency today? So first of all, buying and holding is a very popular strategy. We have, think about just Bitcoin. I remember when I first heard of Bitcoin in late 2016 going into 2017. It was a few $100s maybe at that point. And I had a friend of mine that started trying to explain to me that it's all digital. He's telling me about this coin, and I'm like, is it a real coin? He's like, it's not a real coin. It's a digital wallet. And I'm like, so you can't really hold it. And I was just like, no, thanks. This totally sounds like a scam. And what's funny is I make a living teaching people that the most expensive thing in the world is a closed mind. And yet when I first heard about this, I made an opinion. I formed an opinion not knowing all the facts. But here's what happened. That coin went up to about $1,000 over the next few months. And I remember thinking, gosh, man, if I would have just gotten involved when I first heard about it, I'm sure some of you did the same thing. But then I thought to myself, well, now that it's at 1,000, there's no way I'm getting involved. But what did it do? It went up to 2,000. And then I'm thinking, okay, gosh, should I get in now? Now it's all the way up to, then it went to 3,000. And at that point, I've gone from being a skeptic to observing to saying, okay, I'm missing out on this opportunity. And that's when I started to get involved in cryptocurrency. So what are people doing? They were buying the coin and holding it with the hope that the value were to go up. And a lot of people are still doing that today. What people don't realize is that Bitcoin shares the stage with over 1,400 other altcoins that are out there. And the idea is that if more and more people, more and more companies, like I've showed you tonight, continue to accept cryptocurrency and validate cryptocurrency as a valid form of payment, then of course, as we go from this early adopting stage into the masses accepting it as a valid form of currency, the demand is going to increase. And as the demand increases, what happens to the value, right? It becomes more and more scarce, the value goes up. So buying and hold can be one strategy that people use to make money. Now, another way is trading it. And there is opportunity on both sides of the coin. When it's hot, people want in. When it's down, guess what? It's on sale. So learning, to understand the highs and lows and the peaks and the valleys and how to identify them can be highly advantageous to you financially. Then we have ICOs. And ICOs, there's a lot of great ICOs out there right now. ICOs are the old IPOs, companies that are launching, they're raising capital. Many of these companies, they support the blockchain technology. And you can go in and you can research these companies. You can actually read their white papers. You can look at the track record of success for the owners, the vision of the company, and ultimately decide if you want to get in on some ICOs. I know, Sean, you like to get on some of the ICOs, and I know you have as well. There's a lot of really cool opportunities, and you can get in for sometimes pennies on the dollar with some of these coins. So that's another great way to, or for a lot of people are excited about getting involved in ICOs, but again, that requires educating yourself about this space. And then of course we have mining, and mining's my favorite just because you can set it and you can forget it. And I'm gonna make a very strong case tonight as to why mining is such a powerful place to be when it comes to the cryptocurrency markets. So what does all this mean for you with crypto? First of all, here's what I want you to understand. You're not late to the party. Contrary to how it might feel, because there were these big, massive increases in Bitcoin last year and Ethereum and maybe Litecoin or Dash or Monero or Ripple or some of the other coins that maybe you guys are participating in. Believe it or not, we're just at that beginning stage. I want you to think about this. Anytime something comes along that challenges the status quo, I mean, I'm talking about completely disrupts the way that we have lived our lives, what usually is the process mentally that people go through? First of all, most people hate change. So anytime something new comes along, we oppose it. Sometimes even in the history, you look back, sometimes violently oppose it. But then what happens? Then you have these early adopters that come along and they say, this digital currency thing makes a lot of sense. I mean, you can't counterfeit the money. It's easier. It's not regulated. We're cutting out the middlemen in many cases, so we don't have to pay these banks all these different fees. This just makes sense. And so then you have these early adopters that start to build on the vision. And all of a sudden you start to see these ICOs that come along, and they continue to advance the blockchain technology. And now I'm seeing blockchain technology that's advancing the healthcare industry, blockchain technology that's advancing the financial industries. There's all kinds of things that are booming. The analogy that I would give you is it's a lot like going back to 1995 when the internet was just launching. Nobody understood it. We were all running out to go get our next disc that had 20 hours on it and hearing that horrible sound as it dialed up, you know, and then you were hoping that you didn't run out of time on your disc. No one really, some people even called the internet a fad, but guess what? Some visionaries started to build companies that focused around the internet. That led to the dot-com boom. And from the dot-com boom, we have companies today like eBay, as a result of some of the advancements in the technology. And the internet today is pretty much, we rely on for all facets of our life. So you're not late to the party. You're at that early adopting stage, which means that there's opportunity. The wealthiest cryptocurrency players have yet to get involved in this space. Now, for me personally, in business, I like proven, predictable systems that remove that human error component. And I like simple. I like to work smart, not hard. I call it, I'm looking for high speed, low drag at this stage of my life. And, you probably remember when you were younger and you heard of this fable called Aesop's Fable. And there was a goose that laid golden eggs. This farmer, he thought he had it made. Every day he'd get this golden egg. He's getting richer and richer. But the problem was the farmer eventually got greedy. And the farmer made so much money that he killed that golden goose. So that poses the question, which was more valuable at that point? Was the egg more valuable or was the goose more valuable? Well, I want you to think about that question for just a moment. We're going to come back to it. So let's go into what is crypto mining. Well, first of all, crypto mining, we're not talking about people that are putting, helmets on their heads with flashlights and going into these caves to mine. We're not talking about that at all. We're talking about expensive machines, computers that are going out and solving mathematical equations. And you can see some of those computers pictured here. And they're going out and solving these algorithms, and they're being paid for doing so. So there's a couple things that you need to understand. Again, first of all, cryptocurrency. We're talking about digitally mining rather than being produced by a government. Cryptocurrency mining, here's what people don't understand. And this is why I personally believe that mining, there's such an opportunity here, because crypto mining is the lifeblood of the industry. Let me explain to you what I mean. Cryptocurrencies aren't controlled through central banks or any central banking system. So it's important to find another way to validate these transactions. Here's the problem. The problem is without people to solve these mathematical equations, the blockchain would essentially fall apart. So to provide incentive to those who are interested in completing these equations, they're now paid in the cryptocurrency that they're validating, which ultimately makes cryptocurrency mining a profitable business. So in other words, crypto mining is the golden goose. I like having machines that print money. I don't know how else to explain it. That's essentially what mining is you've got the machines, you have the goose that's laying the golden eggs. You have the machines that essentially is going out solving these equations, and they're essentially you're getting paid for doing it. So what's cool about our mining is that the barrier to get into mining today is very high. First of all, there's such a demand for this equipment. It's very expensive. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know how to set it up. The equipment runs very, very hot. It requires a tremendous amount of power. And there's a lot of risk if you don't know what you're doing and the difficulty rates between all of these different coins. So what we do is we facilitate, we allow people to come in and lease equipment. You can lease equipment for a minimum of 1,000 days or the life of the equipment, whichever one is longer. And so you have an opportunity to essentially lease the equipment. The company puts that equipment to work for you. And after signing up, within 7 to 10 days, you start getting daily deposits of Ethereum that show up into your wallet. So what do we currently mine? Let's just go through it all. So first of all, one of the cool things about what we do is that we have a proprietary algorithm that determines the most profitable cryptocurrencies to mine at any given time. Yeah, you could go buy equipment, but you also have to know where to point that equipment. We're analyzing the different coins that are out there and ultimately making a decision based on these algorithms as to which coin is the most profitable. So we could be mining a number of different coins at any given time. Our algorithms diversify what's being mined to reduce some of the risk associated with mining cryptocurrency. Right now, we're currently mining Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Dash, and Monero. Additional coin can be added at any given time. And then, of course, we always pay out just in one form, which is Ethereum. Now, A friend of mine the other day said to me, look, I want to get into crypto. What would you recommend? And I says, well, if it were me, here's what I would do. If you wanted to spend a few $100s, I'd go out and I'd Google the top 10 coins today that are, the top 10 best performing coins that are out there. And I'd spread your money out between all 10 of them just so that you're diversified. But if you have $500 or more, get involved in mining. It just makes sense. And I'll share why with you in just a moment. We have mining contracts that start at 500,000, 2,500. The Premier is by far our most popular at 5,000, and they actually go up from there. Logistically speaking, there's a one-time $99 setup fee per contract. After the lease contracts are executed, mining begins within 10 business days. The mining returns are paid in Ethereum directly to your digital wallet. So your wallet has to accept Ethereum. And once again, we don't ever touch your money. The money comes directly from the mining company. Why is that important? Because again, if we were to go out of business, your money's not going to get tied up because it's coming directly from the mining company. So even if we were to go out of business, you would still get your daily deposits. And our contracts are currently only available for purchase with Bitcoin and or Bankwire. So for those of you that don't quite understand the power of mining, I want to give you just a hypothetical example here. If I were to go spend $5,000 today to purchase Ethereum, I would end up with 5.5 Ethereum in my pocket. 5.5 Ethereum in my pocket. And I'm seeing that Ethereum with an I, and I apparently missed it, and that's going to drive me crazy because it's spelled wrong. But I will correct it. So I thought I got them all in this presentation, but I see that one is still not. So you get 5.5 Ethereum in your pocket. If you were to participate in one of our mining contracts, $5,000 based on today's hash rates would put you into a position where you would end up with 22 Ethereum. So that's the big difference is I'm getting Ethereum for essentially 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. And that's what makes mining so powerful. I'm going to put you guys on hold here real quickly. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. I'm getting red battery buttons here that it's telling me that I'm about to die. Okay, good. We're good to go. So that's the power of mining is I am able to get access to Ethereum for 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. And that means that even if Ethereum doesn't go up in value, I'm still in a position at the end of my mining contract where I'm winning. And that's what I love. We also have a concierge service that's available that starts at $25,000. So we have people that are getting involved at $25,000. We have some that are getting involved at $50,000. We've had people that have even talked about putting 6 and 7 figures into the mining contracts. And so we can certainly accommodate that. We will assign a rep directly to you that can help facilitate that entire process, and you'll have access to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then, of course, we offer crypto education. And this is, to me, the foundation of what we do, because if you can educate yourself right now, you give yourself such an advantage over everyone else that doesn't understand these markets. And so we have professional crypto traders that are some of the best in the entire world that are doing daily webinars that you can plug into, and you can start learning, watching them do live trades. You can learn all about, which, coin wallet to set up, and how do you protect your coin wallet, and, how do you start evaluating if you want to put some money into the markets and if you want to start trading. So you have an opportunity to be able to learn from these experts. And so we have Crypto Edge that starts at $89 per month. And then we also have a full suite called Crypto One that is normally $150, but because it was just introduced this month, we have a special right now. It's $99. And what's neat about that is you also get access to our trading bot, and you also get access to the ability to be able to mirror your account with some of those professional traders. So whatever trades that they make, your account makes as well. You also get those alerts that are sent to you that notify you when you should buy. So you get those buy-sell alerts as well. So the full Crypto One suite, I know people are really excited about this, especially that trading bot. People are equally as interested in the trading bot as they are in the mining side of things, because you can go and you can set your risk tolerance and set it all up and then literally just let that thing go and it goes to work for you. And we've had a fantastic track record of success with that trading bot as well. I was researching and I was looking for some quotes that from thought leaders, and this one came up, and it was from John McAfee. John McAfee wrote the McAfee software, McAfee virus. You've probably seen it on your computer. He is a big proponent of digital currency. He speaks at a lot of the events that are out there now. He's a brilliant mind. And John McAfee says you can't stop crypto. It'll be everywhere in the world. We'll have to readjust. And, you think about that statement and you just have to ask yourself, when do you want to get on board with cryptocurrency? Because at some point, I firmly believe that I will have a conversation with my children and their children, and we say, do you remember when we used to carry dollar bills in our pockets? Do you remember when we used to carry around these coins in our pockets? Because everything will be digital. That's where the world is going today. So the question is do you want to capitalize on the greatest transfer of wealth that this world has ever seen? I'm a big believer, and I've subscribed to this philosophy since I was little, that if you want to make a lot of money in life, just figure out where people are going and try to get there faster. Well, we know where people are going. Guys, digital currency, it's not just some little fad or some little thing over here on the side. I used to think that too. But the more that I've researched this, and hopefully even tonight I've opened your eyes a little bit, and you start to realize that this is the future. And the question is do you want to be late to the party? For me, I don't like being late to the party. I like to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. Now, what's neat about this is we really have something for everyone. So the people that just want to start learning about cryptocurrency, we've got some education that is fantastic. You can start learning, all about trading and all about, getting involved in buying and holding and ICOs and all of that stuff. We've got the education for you, $100 a month. And you're golden. For those of you that want to get involved on the mining side, we've got an excellent opportunity. In fact, this is the only company that I've ever been a part of in the world that customers can actually make money here without having to go recruit someone. Do you know how many times I've been in network marketing for 14 years. Do you know how many times people have said, look, I don't want to call my mother and my brother and my friends and my family and try to get them to join anything. But if there's ever an opportunity that I can just put some money in and make some money, call me. Well, guess what? They're all coming and running because everybody wants to there's such a fear of missing out. They want to be a part of this. And then finally, for those of you guys that want to start building true wealth, I want to just talk about that statement here as we wrap up this presentation tonight. So I have a strategy, a wealth building strategy that I want to share with you. So if you truly want to build wealth, okay, if you go research any of the experts that are out there, here's what they're going to tell you. First of all, number one, you've got to get from a linear income, which is where most people are, over to a leveraged income, okay? That's the first thing that needs to happen. So what does that mean? Linear income means when you're at work, you're getting paid. When you're not at work, you're not getting paid. The problem is with that, there's only so many hours in the day. So it's very difficult to ever truly get ahead when you're getting paid based on hourly or based on your time. So a leveraged income, another word for leveraged is residual or passive income. So for me, my wealth building strategy is to go out and acquire IPAs, okay? You guys see Tim's hat right now. Tim has IPA on his hat, so he knows what's up. IPAs are income-producing assets that produce residual income. So I'll give you some examples. Real estate could be a passive residual income stream. Network marketing is a excellent passive residual income stream. In fact, I personally believe that network marketing provides the average person with the very best opportunity today to be able to start creating leverage in their life. Why? Because you can go to work full-time to pay the bills, but in your part-time or spare time, you're working on building your fortune. I will just say this. I believe entrepreneurship is the new retirement plan. If you don't have some type of a side gig, side hustle, side business, something where you can make money on your phone, then you are missing out on the greatest opportunity today to take control of your financial future, plain and simple. So once you get an IPA going and you start to generate some income, what do? Well, you go and you purchase or acquire additional IPAs. Well, guess what this could be? This could be mining. You know what? Now I've got a mining contract coming for me. Do you guys realize how cool it is? For those of you that have mining contracts, give me a thumbs up if you agree with this statement. Every single day that I get that deposit, it just puts me in a good mood. Every day I get a deposit that's put into my account, and there's something cool about it. It's like, I was telling somebody the other day, it's like having a bucket under a sink and there's a little drip. And if you just, one day, the little drip in the bucket, not a big deal. But if you were to leave for a month, would that turn into a big deal? You better believe it would. It's the daily consistency over an extended period of time And that's why I'm here. So you can have the mining going. Well, guess what? I'm also learning about these ICOs. So these ICOs, getting involved in holding some of the coin with some of these new companies that are launching. Well, I can get involved in that. And then guess what? We've got this trading bot over here. And this trading bot's got an excellent track record of success. Remember, I like high speed, low drag. I don't have time. I'll be honest with you. I don't have time to sit around and learn Forex markets. It's way too complex, in my opinion, for the average person. I don't have time to sit there. And I know some people love that stuff, but for me, I'm looking for high speed, low drag automation. That's what I want. So guess what? Now what I've been able to do is I've been able to create a diversified portfolio, and you might add in, other businesses over here, and maybe you're doing some e-commerce over here. And essentially, you've now created enough residual income stream to declare your financial freedom day. The day that you no longer have to trade time for dollars, you can do the things that you want to do rather than the things that you have to do. Excuse me. That is what we're talking about. So this MLM piece right here, what's cool about what we're doing is that, I mentioned earlier on that cryptocurrency and MLM, it's kind of like the wild, wild west right now. There's such an opportunity for a company to come in and do this the right way. There's an opportunity. We are the only publicly traded company in all of North America that offers mining contracts. Do you realize that? We're the only company that doesn't touch your money. So when people say, oh, MLM and mining, that's those things are bad together. No, they are because of the way that it's been done. But that's because companies are offering guarantees. It's because companies that are saying they're mining are not mining. It's because companies are pulling funds on the front end, which is illegal. It's a security. So they're doing all of these things. And so we essentially have set up a company the right way, and we're providing a legal and ethical place for people to come that want to get involved in cryptocurrency. And here's the result. The result is Kuvera is quietly exploding. What do I mean by that? Well, in the last couple of weeks, last month that we've been here, we've had some of the top network marketing professionals. I'm talking about 7- and 8-figure earners that are walking through the halls of Kuvera every single day because people want to know what's happening here. You have some of the most prolific network marketers in the world that are now coming to this company. And mark my words, this company, Kuvera, will be the biggest story in network marketing in 2018 and beyond. Mark my words. We launched companies. We launched a team today in Taiwan. We have teams that are exploding over in Asia. Australia is on fire right now. Guys, we haven't even launched the company. Do you realize we haven't even launched this company yet? We just had a press release on Friday that we were changing the name. Publicly, people just found out about Kuvera on Friday. So you have an opportunity to be a part of something significant. I learned long ago that if you can position yourself in the beginning stages with a company that has all of the signs of becoming one of the next giants in the industry, there's a tremendous amount of money that can be made. And don't ever let somebody tell you that timing doesn't matter in business, because timing is everything in business. There's a first and a last and a top and bottom to everything. And right now, we are collectively coming together with the hottest topic in the world today, and we're the only company that's publicly traded, registered with the SEC, or filed with the SEC, I should say, and we're doing it the right way. So here's what I'm going to do. For those of you that want to understand the financial side of the equation, I'm going to encourage you to get back to the person that invited you here, and they can send you a 17-minute presentation that will explain our rewards plan. It'll show you there's 3 main parts to our plan that when you truly see the power of these 3 points, you're going to go, wow, this is a very powerful plan. So I'm going to encourage those of you that want to understand the business side of this to get back with those that invited you here. You can get started with our company for as little as $50 for a distributor fee, and then you just pick the education pack that you want. Right now, I'd go with the $99 because it's only $10 more, and you get access to our full suite, and you are in business. You've got your spot. And then from there, you can decide if you want to get started on the mining side of things now or in the future, or whatever's comfortable with you. So with that, I want to say thank you very much for you guys tuning in tonight. We had almost 50 people here on tonight from all around the country, all around the world listening in. So I appreciate everyone being here. And with that, let's go out, let's dream big, let's work hard, let's go change some lives. We will be back here again tomorrow night. We are sharing this message far and wide, so we encourage you to go get a few friends and bring them back and let us help you launch your business with these presentations, nightly presentations that we do. You guys have a great evening. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.